It's not a bad strategy. It's not a market crash. It's not a lack of intelligence. As a senior manager, Robert was a genius with a meticulous plan that worked flawlessly for 4 straight days. He felt invincible. He thought he'd cracked the market's code. But in just 30 minutes, he lost it all. A small, simple mistake on a Friday morning spiraled into a raging emotional meltdown. He became a Hulk of pure emotion, smashing his keyboard and violating every rule he had carefully crafted. He wasn't trading anymore. He was attacking the market. In a spectacular blaze of self-destruction, he incinerated an entire week's worth of profits. Robert's story is a powerful warning about the psychological battle that 90% of traders lose before they even realize they're fighting it. In this video, we won't just dissect the inner demons that drove Robert to abandon his own success. We're going to arm you with the 15-point psychological checklist used by elite traders, the mental armor and strategic safeguards they use to stay in command of their cockpit day after day. This isn't theory. It's hard-won wisdom from the front lines of trading. Ignore it, and you'll likely fly straight into the same storm, with no ejection seat to save you. Section 1. The poker table reality. The core mindset shift about losing. Most aspiring traders miss the truth. If your plan guarantees you'll be profitable 60% of the time, it also guarantees you'll lose money 40% of the time. The market isn't an ATM. It's a table where your main opponent is the cold, indifferent law of probability. A losing trader tries to win every hand. They view a loss as a personal failure, a sign that they're not smart enough. This ego-driven need to always be right is the root of so much trading destruction. In contrast, a professional trader's job isn't to win every hand. It's to protect their capital and bet only when the odds are in their favor. They understand that a small, controlled loss isn't a failure. It's the ante, the predictable cost of staying in the game long enough for their edge to play out. They don't just accept losses, they budget for them as a necessary business expense. Section 2. The resilience test. The lesson from Metallica versus the Beatles. Trading success isn't defined by your winning streaks. It's forged in the crucible of your losing days. This story of 2 legendary musicians reveals the single most important psychological trait a trader can possess: resilience. The resilience test, the lesson of the musicians. Imagine 2 musicians, both fired from their bands on the cusp of greatness, facing the same soul-crushing rejection. In 1983, a fiercely talented guitarist named Dave Mustaine was kicked out of Metallica. He could have been consumed by bitterness. Instead, he channeled his pain into a powerful, creative force, vowing to build a band that was faster and heavier. From the ashes of that rejection, the legendary thrash metal band Megadeth was born. In 1962, a popular drummer named Pete Best was fired from the Beatles just before Beatlemania erupted. He was unable to move past the loss. He became trapped in the shadow of what he had lost, leading to years of depression and self-destruction. The market will fire you every day with losses that feel personal. In that moment, you face the same choice as Mustaine and Best. You could be Dave Mustaine, taking the pain of a loss, dissecting it as objective data, and using it to fuel a more disciplined approach. You see the loss as crucial feedback from the market, not a verdict on your worth. Or you can be Pete Best, allowing a loss to create a narrative of failure in your mind, leading to fear, hesitation, and self-sabotage on all subsequent trades. Your entire career depends on your ability to get back up after being knocked down, smarter and more disciplined than before. The market doesn't care which path you choose, but your results will. Section 3. Demon 1. The gravitational pull of averaging down. This brings us to the first demon. And trust me, averaging down is the single most efficient way to destroy a trading account. It's a siren song that lures traders with the intoxicating lie that a losing position is just a discount. This isn't a professional strategy. It's a gambler's prayer driven by hope and ego. Demon 1. The gravitational pull of averaging down. Averaging down is when you buy more shares of a stock after its price has dropped in the hope of lowering your average cost. For example, if you buy a stock at $10 and it drops to $8, you might be tempted to buy more, bringing your new average cost to $9. This is a dangerous trap because it replaces your sound, predefined plan with hope. You're no longer acting on your original analysis. You're doubling down on a flawed thesis, believing the market will eventually prove you right. The difference between a professional and an amateur is crucial here. Professional tactic, adding to a winning position, following a predefined plan. Gambler's fallacy, adding to a losing position, hoping for a rebound. This reckless behavior has been the downfall of traders of all sizes, from individuals like Matt during the dot-com era to multi-billion-dollar hedge funds like Amaranth Advisors. The wisdom is absolute. Averaging down is not a strategy. It is a gambler's prayer that replaces a sound plan with hope and ego. Section 4. Demon 2. The FOMO fever. FOMO, or the fear of missing out, is a psychological contagion that turns disciplined traders into desperate gamblers. It makes you ignore your plan and chase a stock that has already moved, often fueled by headlines or social media buzz. An opportunity without a plan is not an opportunity at all. It's a liability. Demon 2. The FOMO fever. The cryptomania of 2017 is a perfect example of FOMO in its most potent form. When Peter, a trader from the book, felt invincible after a string of profits, he began to systematically ignore his rules. He was no longer trading a system. He was frantically chasing every rumor and pop. In less than 48 hours, the market turned and he lost the majority of his gains. This story highlights a crucial question for all traders. Is your trading plan making your decisions, or is the buzz in a chat room making them for you? The antidote to FOMO is a simple 3-part checklist you must be able to answer before you enter a trade. Entry point. Where is my precise entry based on my strategy? Profit target. Where is my realistic profit target? Stop loss. Where is my non-negotiable stop loss? If any of these 3 components are vague or based on a feeling, then you're not trading. You are suffering from FOMO. The prescription is simple. Do not take the trade. Section 5. Demon 3. The revenge trader's blind rage. When a loss feels like a personal attack from the market, it fuels a powerful urge to get it back. This is the perilous descent into revenge trading. You are no longer a calm, objective participant. You are at war. Demon 3. The revenge trader's blind rage. This demon emerges from the wreckage of a loss, shifting your psychological framework from making money to simply erasing the red from your screen at any cost. This state, known in poker as on tilt, is where all logic is jettisoned in favor of pure, blind aggression, and it almost always ends in ruin. The root of this behavior is the most emotionally toxic number on your screen, your real-time profit and loss P&L. For an emotional trader, the P&L becomes a real-time scorecard for their self-worth. When it's red, they feel personally attacked, and this attachment to the fluctuating dollar amount is what powers the revenge demon. The key to defeating this demon is to fundamentally redefine your objective. Your primary job as a trader is not to make money. Your sole mission is to execute your predefined plan flawlessly. Money is a byproduct. When you truly internalize this, a losing trade executed according to your plan is still a procedural success, and the emotional power of the P&L begins to fade. Section 6. Safeguard 1. The profit target as a psychological shield. We've talked about the demons of trading. Now, let's discuss how to defeat them. The most crucial part of this inner war isn't if you'll face these demons, but how you'll defeat them when they inevitably appear. Your first psychological safeguard is a counterintuitive but profoundly effective rule: setting and honoring a daily profit target. Safeguard 1. The daily profit target. It might sound crazy to limit your profits, but this rule is about protecting your most valuable asset, your psychological capital. Most traders use a daily maximum loss to stop the bleeding on a bad day, but very few apply the same discipline to their winning days. You know the paradox. You have a fantastic morning, hit your goal easily, and feel invincible. The natural impulse is to keep going. Yet, by the end of the day, you've often given back all your profits and then some. This happens because of an invisible enemy called decision fatigue. Your brain has a finite amount of energy for making high-quality decisions. After a series of intense trades, your ability to exert self-control plummets. You don't necessarily feel tired, but you become psychologically vulnerable, leading to rookie mistakes. Your daily profit target isn't a ceiling on your income. It's a psychological safeguard to protect you from your own depleted mind. Think of it like a pitch count in baseball. The pitcher is pulled not because they're pitching poorly, but to prevent the catastrophic error that comes with exhaustion. Your profit target is your personal pitch count. It's an act of supreme discipline that allows you to walk away a winner, preserve your mental capital, and ensure you return the next day fresh and ready for battle. Section 7. Safeguard 2. Your PRE flight checklist. Would you trust a pilot who just rolled out of bed and jumped into the cockpit? Of course not. In trading, your day doesn't begin at the opening bell. It begins the moment you wake up. Safeguard 2. Your pre-flight checklist. Like elite performers in any field, professional traders don't leave their preparation to chance. You need a ritualized, disciplined process for how you start your day. This is your pre-flight checklist, and it's about priming your mind and body for peak performance. The activities in this routine are less important than the consistency of the ritual itself. For you, this might mean a run, meditation, or reviewing your rules. The act of following a pre-planned routine tells your brain, it's time to be a professional. This pre-market routine is also when you do your strategic planning. You identify your key stocks, analyze their levels, and formulate potential trade plans. You're doing all the heavy cognitive lifting when your mind is at its freshest. By the time the market opens, you're not reacting to chaos. You're patiently waiting for a predefined scenario. You've transformed yourself from a frantic gambler into a patient sniper, and this checklist approach is a profound psychological safeguard that reduces anxiety and prevents impulsive decisions. Section 8. Safeguard 3. Forging your flight manual, the trade book. A strategy is a vague idea, but a trade book is a military-grade operations manual that transforms trading from an emotional art form into a repeatable science. It is the most powerful safeguard you can create to protect yourself from your own impulsive emotions. Safeguard 3. Forging your flight manual, the trade book. While a simple strategy is a fuzzy idea that can be easily abandoned under pressure, A trade book is a physical or digital document containing a rigid, non-negotiable set of rules for a single, specific setup. It is your written constitution, designed to be obeyed, not debated in the heat of battle. A true trade book has 4 essential components. Selection. This is your ruthless filtering system. It defines the exact criteria a stock must meet to even be considered for a trade, such as float range, price, and required volume. It is a list of absolute requirements, not suggestions. Identification. Once a stock is selected, this section defines the precise visual pattern you are looking for on the chart. It creates a clear go/no-go signal, removing all guesswork from your entry. Execution. This is your detailed battle plan. It dictates your precise actions, including your entry point, your non-negotiable stop loss, and your specific profit targets for scaling out. This is a binding contract you make with your future emotional self. Consideration. This is where you become your own coach. It's a section for personal, hard-won wisdom from your trade reviews, with notes like "do not chase" or "this setup has a higher failure rate on Fridays." The true power of the trade book is its function as the ultimate psychological weapon. When you feel the pull of FOMO, you don't fight it with willpower. You check your trade book. If the setup doesn't meet your criteria, you simply do not trade. It systematically dismantles emotional decision-making and replaces it with a cold, logical process. Section 9. The art of focus. Trading only stocks in play. The number one mistake that kills new traders is trying to be everywhere at once. Just like a pilot who can't monitor too many targets, a trader becomes overwhelmed by watching too many stocks. The most effective safeguard is to ruthlessly narrow your focus. The art of focus. Trading only stocks in play. The wisdom of professional traders is that less is more. Instead of frantically trying to watch everything, they focus on a handful of the best stocks in play each day. A stock in play isn't just a stock that's moving. It's an outlier driven by a powerful catalyst, like an earnings report or major news, that draws a massive, abnormal amount of volume. This concentrated volume creates cleaner trends and more reliable patterns. Trying to trade a stock that isn't in play is like trying to sail a boat with no wind. You'll just get tossed around by random currents. The tragic paradox of watching everything is that you end up missing everything. By forcing yourself to focus on just a few high-quality opportunities, you can read their price action with greater accuracy and anticipate moves with more confidence. Your profitability is not determined by how many opportunities you see, but by how well you execute on the handful you choose to focus on. Section 10. The enemy within. Trading your P&L. The single most important tip for trading psychology is to learn to trade the chart, not your profit and loss P&L. For most traders, the real-time P&L is the most emotionally toxic piece of data in their setup. The enemy within. Trading your P&L. For an amateur, the P&L is a constant, flashing scorecard of their success or failure. When it's green, euphoria and greed cause them to take profits too early. When it's red, fear and panic lead them to either exit a good trade or freeze as a small loss grows. In both scenarios, their decisions are driven by an emotional reaction to a fluctuating dollar amount, not by the objective data on the chart. The radical solution is to completely hide your P&L window during a trade. This simple but powerful step forces you to rely solely on what matters: the price action, key technical levels, volume, and your predefined plan. Think of it like a pilot in the cockpit. A pilot doesn't look at a happiness meter. They focus on their flight instruments, the altimeter, airspeed, and navigation system, the objective data required to fly the plane safely. Your charts are your flight instruments, and your P&L is the emotional passenger screaming in the back. The elite trader learns to tune out that passenger and focus on flying the plane. Your 10-point psychological flight manual. This is your comprehensive checklist designed to transform you from a passive passenger into a pilot in command of your trading journey. Understand the game. Trading is a game of probability, not perfection. Build resilience. View resilience as a muscle you strengthen with every loss. Never average down. Adding to a losing position is a gambler's fallacy, not a strategy. Kill FOMO. Use the 3-question checklist: entry, target, stop loss, to avoid trades without a plan. Starve the revenge trader. Ignore your P&L to prevent emotional, aggressive trading. Honor your daily profit target. This is a safeguard to protect you from your own decision fatigue. Master your pre-flight checklist. Start every day with a disciplined pre-market routine. Forge your trade book. Create a detailed, unbreakable flight manual for every strategy. Focus on stocks in play. Narrow your focus to a few high-quality stocks to improve execution. Hide your P&L. Physically conceal your real-time profit and loss to avoid emotional distractions. Know your trading style. Find a style that aligns with your personality, e.g., scalper versus longer-term day trader. Conduct a post-flight debrief. Spend 15 minutes every day reflecting on your trades to learn and grow. Chase process goals. Focus on perfect execution, not on a specific dollar amount. Live a disciplined life. Your trading discipline is a direct reflection of your daily habits: sleep, diet, exercise. Find a wingman. Build a community for support and perspective. Never fly solo. The 3-day challenge. Take command now. If you are serious about becoming a professional trader, commit to this simple 3-day challenge. Completing it will do more for your trading psychology than most people do in an entire year. Day 1. Choose one psychological safeguard from this list and execute it tomorrow without exception. Day 2. At the end of your trading day, spend exactly 15 minutes on a written self-reflection. Ask yourself, what emotions drove my decisions? What did I do well? What is my one adjustment for tomorrow? Day 3. Share your experience. Find one other trader and tell them about your experiment. Teaching solidifies learning. In the cockpit of trading, there are only 2 seats, pilot and passenger. The market is always flying. The only question is whether you're in command or just along for the ride. Your journey starts now. Take command.